Meet Kai. Kai is like many of us. He enjoys a cup of coffee in the morning. It helps him start his day, sharpen his focus, and tackle his to-do list. But lately, Kai has been wondering, in a world that runs on caffeine, where "don't talk to me until I've had my coffee" is a common refrain, what's the limit? What happens when you push past 1 or 2 cups and venture into the territory of the truly caffeinated? So, he decides to conduct an experiment on himself. For 30 days, Kai will drink 5 cups of coffee every single day. Now, what does 5 cups actually mean? It's not about the size of your favorite mug. In scientific terms, a standard cup of coffee is about 8 ounces, containing roughly 95 milligrams of caffeine. So, Kai's daily target is a formidable 475 milligrams of caffeine. To put that in perspective, health authorities like the FDA generally cite 400 milligrams a day as an amount not generally associated with dangerous negative effects for healthy adults. Kai is willingly stepping just over that line. He's not a scientist, just a curious soul, a stick figure avatar for our collective questions about this beloved beverage. He feels a mix of excitement and trepidation. Will he become a superhero of productivity, a jittery mess, or something else entirely? The coffee pot is full, the first cup is poured. Day 1 is about to begin. Let's follow Kai on his journey and uncover the science of what happens when you drink 5 cups of coffee every day for a month. The first few days are a revelation for Kai. The world seems brighter, sharper. The fog of morning sleepiness vanishes not with a gentle fade, but with a sudden, powerful snap. At work, ideas flow effortlessly. Reports that once felt like a slog are completed in record time. He feels witty in conversations, energetic in meetings. This is the magic of caffeine, a potent psychoactive substance. Here's what's happening in Kai's brain. Caffeine molecules are master impersonators. They look remarkably similar to a neurotransmitter called adenosine, which builds up in your brain throughout the day, causing you to feel tired. Caffeine docks into the adenosine receptors, blocking them. With adenosine locked out, sleepiness is held at bay. This blockade also allows other stimulating neurotransmitters, like dopamine and norepinephrine, to flourish, leading to that feeling of alertness, improved mood, and heightened focus. But this high has a cost. By day 3, Kai notices a persistent tremor in his hands. His leg bounces uncontrollably under his desk. A low hum of anxiety becomes his new background noise. His heart sometimes feels like it's beating a frantic drum solo. This is the flip side of the coin. The central nervous system is in overdrive. His body is flooded with adrenaline, the fight or flight hormone. The initial joy of enhanced productivity is now tinged with the discomfort of being perpetually on edge. The honeymoon period is proving to be short-lived. By the end of the first week, Kai's biggest challenge becomes clear: sleep. He lies in bed at night, his mind racing like a hamster on a wheel, even though his body feels heavy with fatigue. He's experiencing the classic wired but tired paradox of caffeine overconsumption. Getting to sleep is only half the battle. The quality of the sleep he finally gets is deteriorating rapidly. This is because caffeine doesn't just delay sleep, it fundamentally alters its architecture. Our sleep is composed of cycles, including light sleep, deep sleep, and REM sleep. Deep sleep is crucial for physical restoration, cell repair, and hormone regulation. REM sleep is vital for memory consolidation, learning, and emotional processing. Studies have shown that caffeine, even when consumed 6 hours before bedtime, can significantly reduce deep sleep. Kai's 5 cups, with the last one often in the mid-afternoon, are creating a major problem. Caffeine has an average half-life of about 5 to 6 hours. This means if Kai drinks his last cup at 3 p.m., by 9 p.m., half of that caffeine is still actively circulating in his system, blocking adenosine and disrupting the delicate dance of sleep stages. He starts waking up feeling groggy and unrefreshed, a state scientists call sleep inertia. And what's the first thing he reaches for to combat this feeling? Another cup of coffee. A dangerous, self-perpetuating cycle of poor sleep and high caffeine dependency has begun, and a massive sleep debt is accumulating. As Kai enters the second week, he notices something else. His digestive system is unpredictable. He's experiencing more heartburn and a general feeling of acidic unease. This isn't surprising. Coffee is an acidic beverage. For some people, it can relax the lower esophageal sphincter, the muscular ring that separates the esophagus from the stomach. When this sphincter relaxes, it can allow stomach acid to splash back up, causing the burning sensation of acid reflux. Consuming 5 cups a day is like constantly challenging this delicate barrier. Furthermore, coffee stimulates the production of gastrin, a hormone that gets the stomach to produce more acid. For a gut that's already sensitive, this is a recipe for irritation and discomfort. But that's not all. Kai also finds his bathroom schedule has become erratic. Coffee is a well-known stimulant for the entire digestive tract, increasing peristalsis, the wave-like muscle contractions that move food through your gut. This is why a morning cup sends many people running to the restroom. For Kai, this effect is now amplified and less predictable. Beyond the immediate mechanics, there's the emerging science of the gut microbiome. Our guts are home to trillions of bacteria, and their balance is key to our overall health. Some research suggests that the polyphenols in coffee can act as prebiotics, feeding beneficial gut bacteria. However, the impact of such a high daily dose of caffeine and acid is less clear, and for some individuals, it could potentially disrupt this delicate ecosystem. Kai's gut is sending him clear signals that it's not happy with the new arrangement. Kai can't ignore the feeling. Sometimes, after his 4th or 5th cup, he feels a fluttering in his chest, a palpable thumping that makes him pause and take a deep breath. He wonders, is this bad for my heart? This is one of the most common fears surrounding coffee, and it deserves a careful look. Caffeine is a stimulant. It triggers the release of adrenaline, which can cause a temporary, acute increase in both heart rate and blood pressure. For Kai, who is healthy, these spikes are generally not dangerous. His cardiovascular system can handle the temporary surge. However, for someone with a pre-existing heart condition or uncontrolled high blood pressure, this repeated stimulation could pose a genuine risk. There are also genetic factors at play. Some people are slow metabolizers of caffeine due to a variation in the CYP1A2 gene. For them, caffeine stays in their system longer, and some research suggests that high consumption in this group might be linked to a higher risk of heart problems. But here's the fascinating paradox of coffee research. When scientists look at the long-term data from large population studies, they find something surprising. Regular, moderate coffee consumption is consistently associated with a lower risk of many cardiovascular diseases, including heart attack, stroke, and heart failure. The theory is that the powerful antioxidant and anti-inflammatory compounds in coffee may protect the heart and blood vessels over time. The crucial question for Kai, however, remains: are 5 cups a day moderate? He is living in a gray area where the acute stimulating effects are undeniable, while the potential long-term benefits are still just a statistical promise. His heart is on the front line of this daily experiment. The initial laser-like focus Kai experienced in week 1 has become a distant memory. By week 3, his mental state is a tangled mess. He can still force himself to concentrate, but it's a brittle, fragile focus, easily shattered by the slightest distraction. This is because his brain is now chronically overstimulated. The constant blockade of adenosine receptors and the elevation of adrenaline has pushed his nervous system into a state of high alert. This constant fight or flight readiness manifests as a pervasive low-level anxiety. He feels perpetually restless, irritable, and on edge. He is also now, without a doubt, physically dependent on caffeine. His brain, in its incredible ability to seek balance or homeostasis, has fought back against the daily caffeine onslaught. It has upregulated, meaning it has physically built more adenosine receptors. This is the biological basis of tolerance. The old dose of 1 or 2 cups no longer has the same effect because there are more receptors for adenosine to bind to. Kai now needs all 5 cups just to block these extra receptors and stave off the effects of adenosine just to feel normal. And if he misses a cup, the withdrawal begins. Within hours, a dull, throbbing headache sets in. This is caused by vasodilation. Without caffeine constricting them, the blood vessels in his brain expand. He feels an overwhelming wave of fatigue, a brain fog so thick he can barely string a sentence together, and his mood plummets. This isn't just a psychological craving, it's a physiological demand. Kai's brain chemistry has been fundamentally rewired by his 30-day experiment. As Kai continues his journey, he starts to wonder about the hidden costs. Is his high caffeine habit affecting his body's ability to use the nutrients from his food? It's a valid concern. Coffee contains compounds called tannins, which can bind to certain minerals and inhibit their absorption. The most notable of these is non-heme iron, the type of iron found in plant-based foods like spinach, beans, and lentils. Studies show that drinking a cup of coffee with a meal can reduce non-heme iron absorption by as much as 39%. For Kai, who is an omnivore and gets plenty of easily absorbed heme iron from meat, this effect is likely negligible. However, for a vegetarian or someone with borderline iron levels, consistently drinking 5 cups a day, especially with meals, could potentially tip them towards an iron deficiency, leading to fatigue and anemia. Then there's the question of calcium and bone health. Coffee is a mild diuretic, which means it makes you urinate more. With this increased urine output, a small amount of calcium is flushed out of the body. For years, this led to fears that coffee could contribute to osteoporosis. However, more recent and comprehensive research has shown this effect to be very small. The loss of calcium is so minor that it can be easily offset by adding just 1 or 2 tablespoons of milk to your coffee. So, while coffee can interact with nutrient absorption, for most people like Kai with a varied and sufficient diet, it's not a major nutritional villain. It's simply a reminder that no food or drink exists in a vacuum. It's all part of a larger dietary picture. Amidst the anxiety, poor sleep, and digestive woes, is there any good news for Kai? Absolutely. While he's been grappling with the effects of caffeine, his body has also been flooded with a treasure trove of beneficial compounds. In fact, for many people in the Western world, coffee is the single largest source of antioxidants in their diet. The coffee bean is packed with powerful plant compounds, particularly polyphenols like chlorogenic acid and hydrocinematic acids. These molecules are the body's microscopic superheroes. Our metabolic processes naturally produce unstable molecules called free radicals. When these build up, they cause oxidative stress, which damages cells and is linked to aging and a host of chronic diseases, including cancer and heart disease. Antioxidants neutralize these free radicals, protecting our cells from damage. Every single one of Kai's 5 daily cups is delivering a potent dose of this protection. This is likely why large-scale observational studies consistently link regular coffee consumption with some truly remarkable health benefits. We see associations with a significantly reduced risk of developing Parkinson's disease, Alzheimer's disease, and type 2 diabetes. Coffee drinkers also appear to have lower rates of liver disease, including cirrhosis and liver cancer, and even a lower risk of depression. Kai is living a paradox. The very same beverage that is disrupting his sleep and heightening his anxiety is also bathing his cells in a protective shield of antioxidants, potentially lowering his long-term risk for some of our most feared diseases. It's a profound reminder that coffee is not just a delivery system for caffeine, it's a complex, biochemically rich brew. The final day of the experiment has arrived. Kai pours his 5th cup of coffee, the 150th cup in 30 days, but there's no celebration. He feels a deep, profound sense of exhaustion that no amount of caffeine can penetrate. He looks at his reflection in the dark liquid. The person staring back has dark circles under his eyes. His skin looks dull. He feels older than he did a month ago. The initial surge of productivity he experienced feels like a lifetime away. It was a loan taken out at a high interest rate, and the bill has come due. His days are now a roller coaster of artificial highs followed by crushing lows. His baseline mood is a mixture of irritability and anxiety. Simple tasks feel monumental unless he is freshly caffeinated. His creativity, once sparked by the drink, now feels stifled by the rigid dependency on it. He misses the simple pleasure of waking up and feeling genuinely rested. He misses the feeling of calm. He misses feeling like himself. This 30-day journey has taught him a powerful lesson about his own body. While headlines may tout the benefits of coffee, and some people may genuinely thrive on higher amounts, for him, this level of consumption was a net negative. It dismantled his sleep, agitated his nervous system, and held his brain hostage. He has successfully completed the experiment, but he feels no sense of victory. Only a quiet, urgent desire to reclaim his own natural equilibrium. The experiment is over. The journey back to balance is about to begin. On day 31, Kai does something radical. He doesn't brew any coffee. The first 24 hours are brutal. A relentless, pounding headache settles behind his eyes, a direct result of his brain's blood vessels expanding back to their normal size. A wave of fatigue washes over him, so profound it feels like he's moving through water. He's irritable, his thoughts are cloudy, and his motivation is non-existent. This is caffeine withdrawal in its full, unpleasant glory. It's the price his body is paying for a month of dependency. But Kai persists. He drinks plenty of water, takes a mild pain reliever for his head, and allows himself to rest. The second day is slightly better. The third day, the headache finally begins to subside. And then, on the fourth night, something magical happens. He falls asleep easily and sleeps deeply, more deeply than he has in a month. When he wakes up on the morning of day 35, there's no grogginess, no brain fog, just a clean, clear feeling of being truly rested. His natural energy, generated by healthy sleep and not borrowed from a stimulant, begins to return. The constant hum of anxiety fades away. He smiles more. The conclusion of Kai's story is not that coffee is evil. Coffee is a powerful tool, rich in beneficial compounds. The lesson is one of profound respect for bio-individuality and the importance of self-awareness. 5 cups was a disaster for Kai, but the right amount is different for everyone, depending on genetics, lifestyle, and health. The true goal is not to demonize or deify this drink, but to find a mindful, balanced relationship with it. For Kai, that might mean 1 cup in the morning, enjoyed for its taste and gentle lift, but never again at the expense of his sleep, his calm, or his well-being. He has learned to listen to his body, and that is the most important outcome of his entire experiment.